What is up, my 64 fanatics? My name is SuperSam64, and today is another episode of the BloopCast. Of course, I'm not going to be doing this alone. I, of course, have Shadow. Say hello. Ours, and a new special guest. Well, 3, actually. Basic, you can introduce yourself and your friends.
Hello, I'm Daisy, and this is I brought 2 of my friends, King and Dr. with me.
What's up?
Yo.
Great. All great. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the 3DS and Wii U and how it's inevitably shutting down. I'll cover the Wii U while Basic covers the 3DS. Well, as most of us know, the Wii U came back in 2012 and was more or less a commercial failure. But, in my opinion, I still think it's really, really good. Because not only is it an emulation machine, it can also handle GameCube and original Wii titles, meaning not only can it handle N64 and below, it could basically handle every Nintendo console, including NES, Super Nintendo, N64, and the entirety of the Game Boy line, which is awesome. Sadly, it is shutting down, and, well, it wouldn't be too bad to sail the 7 seas just to get these games once they're discontinued. The Wii U Eshop will be sadly missed. And, well, especially for me, because, well, I haven't yet to hack my own Wii U, which just sucks. Do any of you guys have an experience with the Wii U that you'd like to share?
I had a Wii U, yeah.
I've never personally owned one.
As a child, I kind of wanted to get one, but I was always stuck with the normal Wii and almost all of, like, the DS systems. So I never really got to experience the Wii U. Same here,
because, well, I was stuck with the Wii U as I wasn't able to get a Wii U till I was around 16 and had a bunch of Christmas money left over. Got it from GameStop. Doesn't run Wii U games. And I plan on just getting it fully on replaced once I'm able to get a decent job.
I had a Wii U once, but I only had Yoshi's Woolly World, Wild World, I think it's called. But
yeah, Woolly World.
I sold it like in 2017 when the Switch came out. So.
That's understandable, but also sad. While there isn't much to the Wii U, I personally have plenty of games that I like to enjoy on the Wii U. It's the few ways I own Mario 64, the 3D Zelda games, some of the Metroid games I've been missing, that, while now will be on the Switch Online subscription service, I still like to actually own in some extent. So, I don't feel bad for just emulating them when I inevitably just have an emulator to do streaming stuff. With the Wii U, I think that's the first time I've ever played the new Super Luigi U, as well as Wind Waker HD, which has yet to come out on Switch, so not abandoning the Wii U just yet, but it's not far off.
Yeah.
And with the 3DS, I've owned one since I was very, very young. I'm pretty sure I was like 8 when I first got it. It was a Thursday night. We just had dinner with my grandparents, and they had gotten me a 3DS as a Christmas present. Well, not Christmas. They got me Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon as a birthday present, and then they got me a Nintendo 3DS. A used one, but a 3DS nonetheless. which isn't even that bad, because it had some DSiWare, including Mini Smarts Again, Dr. Mario Express, the 25th anniversary Zelda game that got released, which was very, very nice. And one of my favorites that I didn't even realize was out on there till around Christmas time now was Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy, which is honestly just fascinating.
Oh, I played Dreamland before. That was the one where on the NES, right?
You're thinking of Kirby's Adventure.
Oh, okay.
Kirby's Dream Land was the Game Boy one, Kirby's very first adventure, which is now on Switch.
Oh,
but
nice.
We'll get to the Switch soon enough. Anyway, Basic, what do you have to say about the Nintendo 3DS?
Well, my experience with the 3DS is basically, I remember I got it for Christmas in December 2013, and it came with, it was the pack-in with, I think it was Mario and Luigi, I think, and it's a really good console and just very easy to mod, at least in my experience, and so I think that would make it worth it, honestly, and I think it's probably, at least for me, the best handheld of all time, honestly, with its library and stuff, especially with how it was still supported a little bit after the Switch came out. So I think it's a pretty good console overall, all around.
Yeah. Going on for around 6 years after it released, I'd say it had a decent lifespan, but it still sucks to see it go once March hits. Gonna miss it. Even though I'm probably just gonna pirate more games afterwards. Because once the game is out there and you choose not to sell it, I think it's generally justifiable to just grab a ROM. One, you're not making profit off it anymore, and two, you decided not to sell anymore. It was your choice not to let us have it and expect us to just play along, which is just nonsense, because once you stop selling it, it should just generally belong to the masses, because in most senses of it, it kind of does, because all copies are now, or probably are, within public reach, and are being sold for outrageous prices on stuff like eBay or some knockoff. So it really is within the public service, even though it isn't in the public domain. I'm not condoning piracy if... in all cases, of course not, that's illegal, but for cases for games that are needing to be preserved, yeah, I can understand if you want to grab a ROM off some sketchy site, or find one of those QR codes. Because you wouldn't steal a car, you wouldn't try and download a car, but if that car barely exists in real life today and it isn't even being manufactured, or why not download said car?
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing, actually.
Really?
It's basically you can't, there's something isn't really in public reach anymore. Why not take, advantage of other opportunities to get it, and if there's no other ethical way to get it, you might as well take the what they used to say, on the next best solution, I think.
Yeah.
There's really no other choice that would actually make absolute sense, because buying it off eBay for an outrageous price, just to come and realize that you could have just got it off something like Vim's later for nothing, and still have a good experience, I'd say, just go, just take it. And with the 3DS, it has a lot of great emulators too. It has NES, SNES, Game Boy Color, even Game Boy Advance, even though it wasn't given to anyone other than
that was a part
ambassadors.
Ambassador program. Yeah, it was a part of that.
Yeah, it came out with WarioWare, Metroid Fusion, I think Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, but I honestly forget. But it was a good hunk of GBA games, and the emulator was never used, even though 3DSs are very capable of it. In fact, it's baked into the hardware. I am not kidding. Since it's also part DS, it accesses the GBA, which is baked into the console as is, and uses that to run the GBA programs.
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, because it's not actually Virtual Console. It's legit 3DS hardware. That's why it acts so different and doesn't shut up when you go put it into sleep mode. Because that's not how the GBA works, and it's currently running natively off GBA hardware.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's just generally amazing how stupid Nintendo can be.
Yeah.
You decided to cut off the ability to get certain games, then cry and moan when people are stealing those games because they can't get it without having to pay an outrageous price that you don't even get in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid of them.
It's like, yeah. Sure, piracy's piracy, but there should be a few stipulations for that. Just because it doesn't benefit Nintendo, it's more of a wake-up call, so to speak. It's like, hey, people want this, sell it. It's not like, because then it will be illegal again, because you're selling the game again. Stuff like the original Luigi's Mansion, Double Dash, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Especially Melee, which a lot of people still want, even though it's been outshined by the current Smash Bros. Ultimate. At least in my opinion. Most people still play Smash Bros. For Smash Bros. Melee, but honestly, I think that that Ultimate is currently the superior product.
It's a newer product, yeah, it's better.
Yeah, it has all the fighters, including the ones from Melee. And it was just generally awesome. But yeah, then they go and cry about it when people are just grabbing the ROMs off of some sketchy site because there's no legitimate way to obtain it from the creators themselves, which is honest hogwash. Anyway, I think we're getting a little off track here. My apologies. I think we should go on to our next segment, which is talking about the Nintendo Direct. Shadow, take it away.
I have not seen the Nintendo Direct, but I know they announced Metroid Prime Remastered, which I found cool. I was pretty happy about that.
Alright, that's alright. Who here has seen the Nintendo Direct?
I've seen it.
I've seen it as well.
Yeah. They also announced a new Fantasy Life, a game series made by Level 5 for the, for 3DS. Level 5 also made games like Yokai Watch and the Professor Layton series, which is also getting a new release. I haven't even played Professor Layton, and I'm pumped for that. And one of the greatest features that was just announced for and released is Game Boy. And Game Boy Advance for the people using the expansion pass.
I think did they announce Mother 3 with the Game Boy Advance?
I don't think so, at least not in the North American Direct. It's probably coming in the future, at least for Japanese users. But people have been speculating they might decide to finally release Mother 3 in the US once the anniversary of Earthbound comes around.
Well, I can't wait for that to happen, man.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I'm just generally pumped. Because we already have Earthbound Beginnings and the original Earthbound on current Switch Online, and we already have an unofficial translation, which could be used as the basis. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they just took the fan translation and used it as their own, and who could stop them? They're Nintendo. In fact, the people behind the fan translation basically begged them to, which is just sad. They may have plans, but because I don't think they ever said no, but honestly, I would love to see Mother 3 in the West, because I'm currently playing through Mother 1 on my Wii U, as well as having an Earthbound save file on my Switch. So, honestly, Nintendo, get on it. We want to see Mother 3, if anything. If anything is done about this, all will be forgiven. It won't stop us from pirating your games that you refuse to sell, but it will get us to play. It will get us playing on the Switch, and might even get some more people on the expansion pass just because of it. Mother 1 and Earthbound is what got me to buy the Switch Online pass in the first place. Now that GBA is out, I'm thinking about getting the expansion pass as well. Anyway, how are your guys' experience with Game Boy and possibly GBA?
I've played a bit of GBA games.
I think I played. Was it Mike? It wasn't Mike. WarioWare. That's what it was. I played.
Yeah, WarioWare, Mega Micro Games.
I remember
Minecraft wasn't.
The Game Boy Advance was probably one of my favorite systems as a child, but to be honest, I don't really remember the big library of games I used to play on it, but I just know it took up a good portion of my childhood just by being a GBA. It was a really good system.
Yeah. I literally just got a GBA for Christmas, so I can finally play a copy of Pokemon Blue I've had for over a year now. Almost 2, since I've had it for over a year and a half.
Nice.
And generally, I'm happy. It doesn't have a backlight because I got it from DK Oldies, but I do have a few GBA games, including WarioWare Mega Micro Games, a reproduction copy of Leaf Green, as well as a few other games, which I have yet to recall at the moment, but they were really fun. I've enjoyed GBA, especially since I've had a DS Lite for a while.
Oh, why weren't you able to play Pokemon on your DS Lite? I think that has Game Boy support on it.
Nope. I've tried.
Oh man.
It doesn't support Pokemon Gold. It doesn't support Game Boy Color games or Game Boy. Only the original GBA can do that, as well as GBA SP. We've got a bunch of new games that are coming soon. Advance Wars, another GBA classic, will be coming in April, which is really nice. We already got Metroid Prime, and we'll be getting a physical release later this month, which is great. And we just got the new Game Boy Advance titles. I personally have been playing Metroid 2, which is actually pretty fun. And I've quite enjoyed picking up my Switch controller to play a I want to say 30-year-old game now, since 2021 was a couple years ago now. It's like, holy crap. Stuff in the 90s I'm used to calling around 20 years old. Now I'm gonna have to call it 30, which is freaky. Most of the
really
NES
is.
titles will be reaching 40 pretty soon. And I'll probably be heading to college, but good news is I'll be getting a laptop pretty soon, so maybe one day I'll be able to stream with you guys and be able to talk to you.
Oh, nice.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be honestly great. Even though I'd probably mostly have to use the laptop for school stuff, I'd definitely love to pick up streaming for another side account of mine. Or just perhaps straight on the Super Saiyan 64 channel. I'll probably keep it on Super Saiyans and make a playlist of all my live streams. But most likely I'll keep it on my Super Saiyans main account. We've been going at this for about 24 minutes now. You guys got any closing thoughts?
That was a pretty good direct.
Direct was pretty good, yeah. I was pretty hyped for the Samba de Amigo game.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of that Zelda game though.
Zelda? Oh,
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, it's more or less turning into nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
We all know how that game goes. But
Yeah,
generally?
with the cars and shit. Yeah, I know that game.
But generally, I think this year is turning out pretty great so far. At least for Nintendo fans. Don't know about PlayStation and Xbox fans, but I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to say something about the direct. I think, like, one game that I think, like, if we're like saying like in terms of critiques, like, I didn't think it necessarily looked bad. I think they showed what game is it? I think it was the Halo game. That they
Halo?
showed. Yeah.
What Halo game?
The one where it was like first person stuff, and like the person came from like the ship, and like Master Chief came out and stuff. I think that was Master Chief. Yeah, like an orange.
Not for
suit.
Nintendo console, right?
I thought Microsoft was like doing stuff with Nintendo, like you know, like how they did stuff with Minecraft. I thought they just started doing games with them.
That's what I heard.
Microsoft owns Mojang.
Yeah, and I think Minecraft's on Nintendo consoles.
I guess it
Yeah,
kind of
but
makes sense.
they did that through Mojang, not through Microsoft.
I think they also brought Cuphead. Yeah, that's the game, Cuphead. They brought Cuphead to the Nintendo Switch too. And they own Cuphead, I think.
No, because that's through a third-party company as well.
Oh, I thought Microsoft made Cuphead.
Silly bimbo.
I'm looking for it now, but as far as I can see, there's no such thing as Halo for Nintendo Switch.
I think it was Halo Prime. Hold on. Oh, sorry, Metroid Prime. I'm sorry. I thought it was Halo for a second. I meant to say.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Trust me, Halo is not coming to Switch anytime soon, but Metroid Prime, the remake, looks amazing, and I can't wait to pick it up, because I haven't ever played the Metroid Prime series, but I really want to. But, anyway...
Yeah, it looks interesting. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, neither can I, because I just can't wait, personally. Closing thoughts, anyone?
No, I think that was it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King, do you
The
have
3DS
anything to say about
probably-
the GameCube?
Huh?
Do you have anything to say about the Game Boy Advance? I don't think you said anything about that.
Game Boy Advance is probably one of my favorite handheld devices from childhood. You know.
That's fair.
I don't know why. One of the only games I seem to remember playing was like a really ancient Bionicle game and some weird Garfield game. I don't know. I wish I could remember the name, but they're all right.
Play Garfield Wildest Night.
I think so.
Oh, I remember that game.
That was my favorite. I think it was on the 3DS too.
Might have been.
I don't think I've ever played a Garfield game, at least properly on a home console.
I remember it specifically on my GBA. I don't know if it was on anything else.
Yeah. Honestly, I grew up with the original DS Lite. And
Yeah.
one of my favorite licensed games has to be the original Lego Batman for DS.
Same.
Yeah, that game hits different.
It was so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I was really bad at it though. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, same. Yeah. It still brings me joy, though. Anyways, we're just about at the 30-minute mark, and I think that's more than enough time for the podcast, so everybody say your goodbyes.
Goodbye.
Thanks,
Bye,
thanks for
bye.
having me
See you
on.
next one.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and do whatever you can to support the channel, and I will see you next time. Peace!
Deuces.